Hello YouTube. Today we're going to be talking about Celine Paris and the newest release, the Lavender Vanilla. This is Rimbaud, inspired by Hedi Slimane's childhood hero, 19th century French poet Arthur Rimbaud, who Eddie says he spent a lot of time discovering his poetry in a time of his life where he was going from childhood in his youth growing into manhood, which is probably a confusing time for most people, but says he was discovering himself, and that was the inspiration for Rimbaud. Big fan of lavender. I love lavender. I'm really enjoying Celine as a brand. They are kind of like in that designer exclusive territory under the Louis Vuitton, the Moet Hennessy umbrella, brother or sister to Christian Dior. And I find that, in a very short amount of time that Celine has been available and producing perfumes, I do prefer what they have created opposed to most Christian Diors, which I find as loud as the Diors try to be, I feel they're very understated. And, don't make any mistake, Celine are not bold by any definition. They are very subdued. However, I like that. I like that kind of that airy restraint to them. I don't think they kind of suit my taste as much as Hermescence, which are much more airier, but they feel more solid. There's still something here that is lacking in order to take them to the next level. And hopefully we can see with Hedi that, he sticks around long enough to really capture what it takes to make a fantastic perfume. I think they're close, they're not far, but there's still a little bit that is lacking here. And I think, the whole line kind of focuses on this iris and vanilla theme. And I think, of course, I think, if you're looking for iris, you might not find what you're looking for here. I feel like it's just lacking that definition, those fibers and the nuances. So you might have to look elsewhere. They're not bad, but they're not great either. But the perfumes themselves are really beautiful. They're really soft and outspoken and really good daily drivers. They're interesting is what I find them. They're more interesting than they are exciting, but still unique in their own way. They have a very clear-cut aesthetic, and you can see that kind of runs through a lot of the same perfumes. But so far, really quickly, my absolute favorite is Nightclubbing. I do think this is very unique. Okay, and which is weird. I'm going to say it's very unique, but it does kind of bring to mind, not that it smells at all like Chanel's Cristal with that galbanum and tobacco thing, and Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather, which kind of highlights, this dirty ashtray. And that's what this is to me. It's green, it's bitter, it's smoky. I get a lot of dirty tobacco, not only a natural tobacco, but it does smell like an ashtray. And I like that because it's unique, but it's not ever overbearing. It just kind of brings to thought that bitter ashtray. Really lovely, nice, soft, elegant perfume. Also really like Black Tie. Black Tie is more of a spicier, woodier, sweeter fragrance. It's got that syrupy mortel, licorice, incense, and vanilla. Dans Paris, also very nice, high quality vanilla. Probably not a must-have. If you're familiar with a lot of the Guerlain vanillas from Les Arts and Matier, you might see a little bit of resemblance there. So still a really pretty, elegant vanilla perfume. So let's open Rimbaud up and see what this is about. At first I wasn't sure, whether I was going to grab Rimbaud, and I'll tell you why. My initial impression at the boutique was it did remind me of other vanillas. And I'll tell you what they were in a moment. That's a tight fit. Ugh. Oh, right. So you gotta undo the strap here. It's almost like they harness you inside. Okay. There we go. It's like a garter, perfume garter belt. So interesting color, very light. I think it's much lighter than the rest of the line. Kind of like this almost pinkish, I don't want to say purple hue to it, but very, very slightly. It's not clear, it's not perfectly clear, but you know, there is just a little bit of color in there. Now let me just place this down right here. Okay, I'll place this down here. And I'm going to put just a little bit on my hand. Okay. And I love the packaging. I love that magnetic cap. The bottle is sturdy and it's heavy. The cap is heavy. I think I weighed the caps at one time, and this came out to be one of the heaviest caps in my collection. Okay. Put a couple of sprays on there. It's a little bit salty, I find it, like saltines, but it does have that very raspy, dry lavender accord to it. It's slightly animalic without being dirty. It's like this live lavender. Very dry, slightly leathery. And, at first, I've heard this compared to many things. Specifically, Hedi Slimane was the creative director with Christian Dior. When this came out, I've heard it compared to Eau Noir. I don't get any of that. I don't get any comparisons to Eau Noir. I've heard it compared to one of the greatest lavenders and perfumes ever, Jiki, or Yiki, maybe a little bit, but Jiki didn't come to my mind either. It wasn't until after I kind of, scoped out some reviews and I thought, okay, maybe a little bit, but to me it was mostly Carons. This is the first of that genre, that dry, leathery lavender and vanilla. And I can see Chanel taking a lot of their theme of lavender, vanilla, musk, and tonka bean, and taking from Caron Purona and doing their own version of that. So these are very similar, and I thought, for myself, Rimbaud most reminds me of these two. Just a very soft, elegant, warm, creamy lavender. It's got that fresh laundry musks, but all in all, I think if you have both of these, this might not be the most necessary fragrance. As much as I love it, I love it's slightly different. It's not at all exact, but that will give you an idea of what Rimbaud is trying to do. So I haven't been able to wear it yet. It's just kind of an unboxing first impression, but I like it. I'm a big fan of lavender, and but I am kind of concerned because we don't know who the perfumer is behind these Celine fragrances. There's kind of whispers that it might be Francis Kurkdjian, which is great if it is. I think they're more interesting than what's going on over at MFK. Because Rimbaud does remind me of Chanel and Jersey, a thought crossed my mind is maybe it's Demochet because he loves to take from Chanel. But I don't know. That's just kind of being skeptical and cynical. But I'd love to know. I'm really curious. I do love to credit perfumers, and I love to follow perfumers around. Really quickly, I know it's just kind of a Rimbaud thing. But I'm going to unbox. I picked this one up as well, and that is Eau de Californie. And I am kind of running low on battery here, so if this cuts out, no, it was because the camera had passed away. Okay, so let's undo this garter. Packaging is fantastic. Well, that's one thing Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy is really good at capturing. Okay. Focus. Focus. Really like this. And so Celine's weren't available to me in Canada just until a few weeks ago. So I had to get them shipped in from the US. Thank you, Rudy. Time to musk up. He's always been kind of my mule, and there was just no access. But now we've got Celine in one place in all of Canada. That's in Toronto. So nice color there. I really like that color. And Eau de Californie, I think, was inspired by Hedi Slimane's, his time in California, the Palo Santo wood. And this is a very dry, woody, incensey fragrance. I believe I pick up some really dry vetiver in here. And I like this. I like this a lot. Obviously, there's kind of this underlying, vanilla thing, but it never really gets too sweet. It's more dry and woody than it is sweet. So far with my experience, the sweetest one has been Black Tie and Dom Paris really have this overabundance of vanilla, but they don't ever really get too sweet for me. I don't have a problem with that. But this is very dry, woody, slightly green, incensey, kind of creamy. I do like it. Oh, even though it's it still performs quite well. But there you go. Okay. So, before I go, if you are familiar with Celine, if you're familiar with Rimbaud, let us know in the comments what you think, what you're expecting. What does Rimbaud smell like to you? Everybody's really... There's just so many opinions, and it's really more divisive than it is similar. So kind of conflicting, which is nice. It's nice that not everybody gets the same thing. Let us know what you think of Rimbaud. Let us know what you think of Eau de California, or let us know which is your favorite Celine, a brand that is kind of sparked by interest. So whenever they release a new one, I am curious to see what is happening, because I really admire Hedi. I like what he's done, at his short time with Dior. I think it's some of Christian Dior's best work. So I'm interested and I'm curious. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We will see you all again very soon. Bye for now.